I'm putting my decade of music production knowledge and experience to the test by recording a song in a McDonald's bathroom. And I'm gonna show you step by step how to make any vocal sound like a professional recording. McDonald's time, baby. Gotta work on my vocal exercises. Do, ra, fo, sa, mi, la, ti, da. The brown cow. Mommy made me mash my M&M. Little. That's not a vocal exercise. Nice cop. We have arrived and I'm nervous. Look at all the cars. You can't see them. It's busy though. It's noon on a Saturday. What was I thinking? Just gonna put everything in this backpack. Had to take off the glasses. Don't want to draw attention. So let's go. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself? Does he know you like I do it? Do you gotta do it by yourself? Hey, I'm just saying. What if somebody has to poop? I'm gonna feel so bad. Hey baby, been a minute since. It's so loud. Know you like I do it too, you gotta do it by yourself. Ever think about me when you're by yourself, does he? So far I've only done the low layers because it's very scary to sing loud in here. Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself, does he? Know you like I do it too, you gotta do it by yourself. Let's get the fuck out of here before I have a panic attack. And we are back safely in my own house where there are no people around. Forgive my crooked glasses. I broke them in the bathroom. So the very first thing we need to do to these vocals is de-reverb or de-noise them. If you have FL Studio, they actually have a de-reverb that comes stock, but we're going to be using this website because I think it does a better job. Also, I'm not sponsored by them. They did reach out for a sponsorship, but when I told them my prices, they ran like scared babies. But look, I'm promoting them anyways. Ain't I a nice guy? So I just recorded myself going through this process, but I did it without recording my screen. But basically what you do is you go to lala.ai, you go over here and you click voice and noise, and then you go to this setting and you click de-echo. Then you upload your files and then you can download them. And what that is gonna do is just completely take away the reverb. So here is the original McDonald's vocal. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think? And here is the de-reverbed. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself, does he? So as you can hear, it did a lot. It did almost all of the work for us. It doesn't sound perfect, but that's why these other techniques are going to come into play. The next thing we need to do is get rid of that gross low end. So I'm just going to get an EQ, and we're just going to do what's called a high pass filter. And just get rid of all the low end. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me? And basically you can high pass until you see the lowest peak that's moving with my vocal, because that's where the tonic of my vocal's at. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself, does he? So after EQ, a really good thing to use is Soothe 2. If you don't have Soothe 2, you can get away with just using EQ, but this takes out a lot of the legwork, so I really recommend getting Soothe 2. I'm just gonna do a bump around this like 500 to 700 hertz range. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. I'm also gonna remove some of the sibilants around 5.8 to 6,000 hertz. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever? And now we just need some compression. I'm gonna use gain reduction. This has been my savior multiple times. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Maybe turn down the input gain just a little bit. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself, does he? And now that doesn't sound perfect yet, but in context with an instrumental, you got to remember whenever people are listening to something, they're hearing everything together. Yes, they're paying attention to the vocal as the main thing they're listening to, but the instrumental can actually hide a lot of artifacts. Hey baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think? And once we start adding some more effects on that and get it auto-tuned and everything, it's gonna sound great. So now what I'm gonna do is just export this vocal with Soothe and gain reduction and all of that. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing with both of these vocals as well and just run everything through that chain and export it. And now I'm just gonna put these vocals into Melodyne, give them some tuning so they sound nice. I'm not gonna show you that part because it takes forever.
2 hours later.
All right, so I have everything tuned, and now we're going to do a little bit more magic to make it sound professional and amazing. For the lead vocal, I didn't tune it super hard because I really want the expression to come through. So that sounds like this.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked to you.
And with both of the other takes that I'm using as doubles, I have those tuned really, really hard.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me?
Which does make it lose some quality, but when it's in the background, you don't really notice it. And the reason I do this is because the lead vocal is what most people are going to pay attention to. And you can have a couple of mistakes in the pitch and it not be perfectly tuned. So that way you can keep all of the expression there. And then you can have the doubles be super hard tuned so that it glues it to the track and it makes the lead vocal sound better. The way this is usually done is by having the lead vocal right in the center and then taking the two doubles, panning one hard left and one hard right. And altogether it sounds like this.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself? Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself?
Which already sounds great. And then I've also hard tuned the low vocal.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're...
Again, sounds horrible by itself. But since we're only using one of these, we're gonna do something called the Haas effect. You can do this with a delay or any doubler you have. I'm just gonna be using the Fruity Stereo Enhancer. And basically this is just gonna fake width by having the signal delayed in one ear from the other ear, and it gives this illusion of width.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked.
Put all of those together, it sounds like this.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself?
But since we have some of those artifacts from the de-reverbing, because this was in a McDonald's bathroom, we got to do a little bit extra. I'm going to turn back on the instrumental so we can hear it in context. For this lead vocal, I'm going to first put a limiter at the bottom, just so it never goes above 0 dB. And I'm gonna use a high shelf filter to increase some of those highs because we lost some of those with the de-reverb.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself? Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself?
And I'm also gonna do a little bit of saturation. My favorite is Camel Crusher. This is a completely free plugin. Just look up Camel Crusher and you can find it. British Clean is a magical preset, and I'm gonna take the mix down to maybe like 20 to 30%. It depends on your taste, and that's just gonna add some sparkle that we lost with all of that McDonald's satanic nonsense.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by?
And this next thing is a little bit unconventional, but it works for me. It seems to work for my clients. I've never gotten any complaints, but I really like to push a vocal into a limiter. I just think it makes it sit up front really nicely. Some people would definitely fight me on that, but it's what I do and it works for me.
Think about me when you're by yourself. Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself?
So now I'm going to take both of these doubles and I'm going to route them to the same exact mixer track. First off, what I'm going to do is take out some of those gross mids. I can hear something around 500.
Think about me when you're by yourself. Think about me when you're by yourself.
I'm also going to take down some of those highs.
Think about me when you're by yourself. Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself?
And usually I definitely would DS these, but I don't have a de-esser on me right now, and I'm not trying to make my computer break with Soothe, but usually always DS your doubles. And I usually bump the doubles even harder into the limiter.
About me when you're by yourself. Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself?
Because I just really want those to be the same volume, because it's a supporting element. I don't want anything to like jut out. Now we're gonna route both of these, the main vocals and the double, to one track, and this is gonna be our Vox bus. And I'm gonna put a limiter on this also. I just put a limiter on the end of every chain to make sure it never goes above 0.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked.
And I might just do some light compression. I'm just going to use the kilohertz compressor. Whatever compressor you have works fine.
Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself? Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself?
And I'll do an EQ for the entire vocal. And let's get this low vocal in there as well. We're also gonna route that to the Vox bus. And I'm also gonna smack a limiter on there hard. So we can get rid of like all that high end on the low end. Because the low end, all it's really doing is adding some thickness and some fullness, and it really doesn't need to be heard, it just needs to be felt. And last but not least, we just need some reverb and delay. So I'm going to do this using a send track. Basically, I'm going to route to this track, not route to this track only, from the Vox bus to insert 17. Then I'm going to do the same thing here, route to this track. And I'm going to make one of these a reverb and one of them a delay. And we're going to make the reverb completely wet. Now I'm going to use something called a reverb calculator to figure out the perfect decay time and pre-delay time. And this really just helps to make sure that your reverb isn't getting in the way of your main vocal by having it bounce around your vocal in time. You just put in your BPM and then you copy over the numbers. And now for our delay, I'm going to do a really cool trick where first I'm going to use the delay with the dry all the way down. I'm going to turn it to ping pong, and I'm just going to keep it at the 1/4. And then I'm going to put some distortion after the delay and turn down the volume some. And then I'm going to use a bandpass filter after that distortion. You don't have to do the distortion part. I just really love that sound. I don't know, it sounds expensive, you know? Hey, baby, been a minute since we talked. Do you ever think about me when you're by yourself? Does he know you like I do? Do you gotta do it by yourself? And the fourth tip that is more like psychological, you can use the fact that you recorded somewhere unconventional to make a cool sound. Like if I wanted to, I could take one of those original vocals and throw it in there with that reverb on it. And I could even tune it with that crazy amount of bathroom echo on it. And that could give you like a really cool, unique sound. As musicians, we worry so much about the mixing and about making it sound polished, but that's really the easy part. There's rules for that. It's math. The hard part is trying to make something special, original, and unique. Making something that is truly unique is really difficult to do. Your bad recording environment can actually be good for you. The problem can be the solution. Well, that's gonna do it for old Chill Panic. And if you want to know even more about vocal mixing and really get into the weeds of it, watch this video. Hey baby, I've been listening to Bob, trying to get over the thought of you with somebody else. Does he fuck you like a